and we're live on the Nobody's Famous podcast. It's a pleasure again, as always. We have a very special guest with us today, Arqam Al Abri.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're showing people publicly now that you're singing. What pushed you to do that?
It actually took me a long time. And we talked about voiceovers and how you're surprised when you hear your own voice. I actually didn't like the sound of my voice for a long time. I didn't like the way I sounded. And I always compare myself with other artists. If I listen to, Otis Redding and Sam Cooke and, Musiq Soundchild and D'Angelo. And if I couldn't sing like them, I didn't consider myself a singer, But I came to a point where I just wanted to, time is going by really quickly. I wanted to do things I always wanted to do, I decided to leave what I was doing at the time and focus on things that made me happy. And singing made me happy. I always sang at home, etc. But I didn't like the way I sounded. So I came to a point where I decided, it's time that, let me try it out and see how it goes and let me express myself as best as I can, at least with music, and see if people vibe to it. Worst can happen, nobody likes it, but at least I did something that I really felt strongly about.
Yeah, but do you agree that that like singing or being a musician exposes yourself, a personal side of yourself to people?
It does a lot. I'm very reserved. I don't express my feelings too often, but I do notice that, especially now that I'm writing a lot, I do write things that I feel I've never expressed before, perhaps. So I do seem a bit more vulnerable when it comes to expressing myself as a musician, as a singer, per se.
So your latest, is it your single, Reap What You Sow? It's your latest single.
Yeah, Reap What You Sow.
What's your inspiration for it?
Reap What You Sow. It's a song about climate change. It's a song about religious intolerance or tolerance. It's a song about conflict. If you listen to the lyrics, the first verse is really about a world where we are desperate and we have ruined Earth and ruined ourselves. And the second verse is a bit more optimistic, and we're talking about a utopian world. And then the third verse is really an introspection. So it's really, I really want to talk about a lot of the different things that are going on in the world that I feel like we are doing to ourselves. We were always talking about, an asteroid crashing down and destroying life on Earth, but it's not that we need to worry about. It's us that's really creating the issues that we have now. So Reap What You Sow really talks about how our actions result to the world we live in.
Yeah, I noticed you put Charlie Chaplin at the end.
Yeah. Did you like the speech?
I liked it.
The speech is powerful.
This is the most famous, his famous speech, from the Great Dictator. It was such a powerful speech, and every time I listen to it, it has that effect. The first time you actually see Charlie Chaplin talk that long in a movie, he's never talked anymore. This is the first time you see him talk, and it was. What's the reason you put that? Did that resonate with you, or?
It does, because it does talk about, I think, a lot of the issues that we're facing. I think it's nothing's really has changed from what he was talking about back then to the issues that we're facing now. It's really about greed. It's about, and say greed, it's not only about human greed, it's about corporate greed. It's about taking too much and leaving nothing behind for anybody else. I think and maybe probably using some of the words you use, but we are good people. I think people are good, but it's also the lack of knowledge that allows us to be used in maybe negative ways to do things that we probably wouldn't do if we knew the repercussions of those things were. So that speech for me was super powerful. It's if I could have put those in lyrics, it would be, I think, a whole different song, a whole different level song.
Be different.
But it was those words are beaubeautiful, strong words, and it really touched me.
So let's face it. Your brother Hamdan.
Yeah.
He's quite famous, actually. He's quite known here. People know him and stuff. But my question is, what do you think of the name of the show? What is fame to you? When you look at that, you have your brother that is someone that he's quite known. He's one of the people that started indie music here in
he's a veteran.
He's a veteran, and he is quite famous. But what do you think? What does Nobody's Famous mean to you?
Man, I think fame is a funny thing, really. I think just because everybody knows you doesn't mean you and you know how a lot of these celebrities, people look at them and say, how could he have that tattoo, or how could he be doing that? And they judge them as, as their role models. They're not role models. I think famous people should be role models. I think we are all pretty much part of the same society. So I think for Nobody Famous, the name of your show, I think the idea is that we're all part of the same society. So we all play a part, a role, which is, I think, very important in that sense. We all have a purpose in that sense. So nobody's famous. That's why I'll take it.
No, I like your answer. It's really good. We never had that one before, actually. Never had it where famous people shouldn't be your role models. I mean, they always say never meet your heroes, right? So
yeah, that's the truth.
They always say that. But back to music.
Yep, back to music.
Can we hear like a verse and a chorus of one of your songs? Reap What We Sow, maybe, or whatever you want to sing?
Okay. Maybe Reap What You Sow. Maybe do that one, because it's the new one, and I think
please.
What we're talking about
hear that
like it's
really quickly.
My home is killing me. Hey, no more sunny days anymore. Clouds of smoke blowing through the skies. No more green fields anymore. All that's left is a certain shade of gray. There's no longer trees, it's a plastic sea. No clean air to breathe from my family, it's so hard. Floods are drowning me, sweep me off my feet. Brothers fighting me, not enough to eat, it's so hard. Before it's too late, we need to make a change. But the truth is, we reap what we sow. Woo! Thank you very much.
Man, I swear, like you can feel your, the meaning you have in your song. The way you sing it, you have this way that you sing it. It just, I can feel like how much you're connected to the song.
Oh, appreciate it.
Thank you for that, man.
No issues,
really,
no issues.
Thank you so much for that.
A little better.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Final 2 questions for you.
Sure.
What difficulties are you facing right now being on the music scene?
When it comes to difficulties, well, I think it's the standards I set for myself, and I think it's the challenges I set for myself as well. I had committed to doing a song a month for the next 10 months, and so that means I need to work on a song really every month, from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. So keeping myself inspired and keep myself creative, I think that's a challenge for myself. And when it comes to the industry, I think there's a lack of platforms for musicians to not only showcase their art, but also to get to know other artists and that kind of thing. There's a few open mics that you get to go to, but you find that it lacks the next stage. You know, how do you get from open mics to the next stage? How do you then I had to teach myself how to write my own music, how to produce my own music to a certain extent, to mix my music. I had to teach myself. I feel like the grassroots level need a bit more guidance, especially the youngins, the young people out there that are trying to do music. I feel like they need a bit more guidance on how to get to the next level, how to be, how to make your own music, how to make your own sound. How do you sound yourself? But I think those are the main challenges that I think I face in the industry per se. But as for myself, I think it's just keeping myself consistent.
Thank you so much.
No issues, no issues.
It's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure being on the show.
I want to sign off, but before that, any final words?
No, thank you for having me on board, and I just want to share the light, really.
Thank you so much, Arqam. This has been the Nobody's Famous podcast. We're signing off. You can find us on Anghami, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You can watch us on YouTube. Don't watch us while driving. You can listen to us, or you can listen to Arqam's amazing voice. Reap What You Sow.
Thank you very
much. Growth. Put those up.
Growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Super. Thank you very much.